What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to a video on Penelope Luz's newest collection. This is a retro-inspired set featuring many inspirations from past decades, various decades, I should say. Let's dive into the swatches. We're going to start off with Jukebox Joy. This is described as a black jelly base with multicolor flakes. I would describe the overall buildup and finish to Jukebox as flirting, and I say that very loosely, with being a almost sheer type of buildup. With that said, I think 3 coats is going to give you the best pop and opacity, but I think that the base color itself, to me, because this is a true jelly finish, it is going to have just a touch of more of a charcoal type lean. With that said, as you'll see in the Will It Topper segment momentarily, that you'll get a more intense true black base if you wanted to say wear this over a black base itself. Otherwise, it builds up beautifully to perfect opacity, again with that soft buildup at 3 coats. Disco Fever is a purple base with orange to gold Aurora shimmer and gold micro hollow glitters. This is really pretty. I have to say this brand does excellent shimmer finishes. I've been raving about this brand for a couple of years now, as I've swatched them throughout my time on this channel, for lack of better words. This is no exception. I love her shimmers. Disco Fever has a jelly formula to it, but it builds perfectly. That said, depending on the length of your nails and how you apply all that good stuff, some of you with shorter nails, rocking them nubbins, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but I'm going to strongly urge to go up to 3 light to normal coats to maximize that shimmer payoff. This will dry down flat, so I'd suggest a good glossy top coat. Groovy Green is described as an olive green base with purple to red Aurora shimmer and silver micro hollow glitters. Now, I want to note several polishes in this collection in their official descriptions state that they have a micro glitter of some sort. Just looking over my PR list here, I'm seeing gold and or silver depending on the polish. Now, I want to note, to me, these didn't feel like this really gritty type of glitter that I know I personally associate when I hear the term micro glitter. So just wanting to throw that out there. They're more soft and delicate, really fine particle type of twinkle appearances. I think Groovy Green gives you a really good idea of that. This one also has a very creamy, curly formula to it, self-levels perfectly. So I think 2 to 3 coats is perfect. Cool Cat Blue is a baby blue base with green to gold Aurora shimmer. This is what I would describe as being a foil type finish in a more traditional shimmer finish sense, if that makes sense. I think 3 coats is going to build this one up to opacity really well. If you have a softer type of visible nail line or you're rocking shorties, maybe 2 coats, but I just thought that 3rd coat as a general, I don't know, just covering all my bases was perfect. And again, maximize that shimmer payoff. You're going to have a large particle type of shimmer finish. It's quite shifty and it's going to give you this beautiful glistening looking effect. I'm going to suggest using a good glossy top coat to seal this one up. Back in Time is a pastel turquoise base with purple to red Aurora shimmer and hollow flakes. Now, the same thing in terms of what I was saying with the micro glitters. I think the same thing when we hear the component micro flakes in any of these polishes. Again, we have very soft but intense type of shimmers with soft buildups, and any type of extra component outside of the shimmer is very fine particle and, again, soft. How many times can I freaking say that? Anyways, Back in Time also has that creamy type of finish that Groovy Green had, but to me, it leaned just a touch more on the curly side. No issues with over buildup or anything like that. Again, perfect formula going on here too. I would still suggest 3 coats though. Frosty Lips is a pastel coral base with green to blue to purple Aurora shimmer. I fully agree with that official description. I couldn't think of one better myself to describe this base color. This is definitely what I consider a pastel, lighter, almost almost bleached type of coral. It's pinky, but we've got these warm, peachy undertones with it, just in case this one gets skewed across monitors. This also has that crelly type formula that we saw with Back in Time. I'm going to suggest 3 light to normal coats. Again, you'll probably hit opacity depending at 2 coats, but that 3rd coat just maximizes the shimmer. And I'm always going to say that, especially when we want to see the most intense appearances possible. The shimmer here does have a lovely blue shift. Mod Mint is a mint base with pink to red to gold to green Aurora shimmer. Mod Mint also has that crelly formula we've seen on the last few so far. It builds like a true crelly in that it's got this plumpness of a cream, but it builds up and needs those extra layers to build it to opacity. So I'm going to strongly urge you to go up to 3 coats with it. And the shimmer, again, chef's kiss. The flakes are also, as I previously stated, on the smaller side. So it's this delicate, softer type of twinkling look. Shimmer is quite strong in this one. Now on my full hand shot here, you can see through my falsies. It is on the softer side for buildup. I didn't think it was super noticeable outside of my nail area, but I figured it was worth mentioning. Peace and Love is a white base with purple to red Aurora shimmer and hollow flakes. This is my top pick in the entire collection. It's stunning. And I say that loosely because I gravitate towards blues and whatnot. I think this one and probably Cool Cat Blue. And then there's the last one you'll see here in just a moment, Starry Night, are my top 3 picks for this collection. Peace and Love is such a beautiful, I don't know, it's like a wedding color to me. It's just so pretty. The base itself is what I would describe as being a somewhat off-white type of color, not stark white, and the shimmer is just stunning. Now, the hollow flecks in this one seem to be just the tiniest bit bigger than the other polishes, so I just think it goes together so well. Red Vinyl is described as an intense red base with red to gold micro flakes and gold micro hollow glitter. So teeny tiny little particles here on that micro glitter part. So with that said, across the board on all polishes in this collection, I didn't have any issues with texture or anything like that. They all dried down quite flat in regard to all of their finishes. So I didn't see a need to go with a glitter smoother in any of these, but I did use my holy grail, which is the Night Owl Lacquer quick dry glossy top coat, and I didn't thin it at this time, so it was just the tiniest bit thicker. And then last, this was one of the ones I was talking about for my top picks. Starry Night is a deep navy blue base with blue to purple Aurora shimmer and silver hollow glitters. So Starry Night starts off with this really light looking appearance. And at first I was kind of like, am I going to be able to build this to opacity? But the second coat really proved me wrong. And by the 3rd coat, I was like, okay, I see it. This is great. And it's got this lighter formula in terms of how it builds up so that we can intensify all of that beautiful shimmer. The shimmer to this was interesting to me because I'm so used to seeing blue to purple shimmer as being a more fine particle. So it was interesting to me that this builds up so deep, dark, and vampy, but the shimmer is more large particle and you can very obviously see it. This is the one that dried down the most flat out of the entire collection. So you may want to use a thicker glossy top coat with this one if your glossy top coat is either fresh or on the lighter side. And we're going to wrap this up with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. Now, Jukebox Joy, this is what I was talking about. If you choose to layer it, I would strongly suggest sticking with really only black, and it's going to give you more of a stark base color. I would suggest 2 coats though. Disco Fever vamps out wonderfully over black. I think you can get a little creative with this one. I think dark colors are going to be your best friend here. Groovy Green, pleasantly surprised with how this looked over black, but personally, I would not topper it still. Cool Cat Blue. We have more of that true curly-like formula, so it's spread across black really well. I can't really see going outside of matchy match undies or black though. Same thing with Back in Time and Frosty Lips. These all had that curly, plump, squishy type formula to them. I don't know. I think that they're also pretty tinted too, so I personally wouldn't recommend it. Mod Mint was flirting with being just a touch more jelly, so I think it works better than, say, the other three. And then same thing with Peace and Love. This is that strong, curly-like appearance. I think you can topper this one, but I would do 2 thin coats. Red Vinyl is very pretty over black. It's going to vamp it out some more, so this does work. I would suggest Matchy Match or black, though, and same thing with Starry Night. This one, yes, I would stick with Matchy Match or black, but personally, I would not topper this one. I liked it just the way it was. These are going to release on Penelope Luz's website on August 17th. I'm going to collect the information from any stockists in the meantime while I get ahead of myself and record my face here. So I'll have all of the stockist information around my head. If you're new to indie polish, you're new to Penelope Luz or anything like that, this brand is a Brazilian-based brand, so I will link you all below to the site. Otherwise, these will be available at stockists too, including color for nails. I will have all that information in the description box below if you want to check it out. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.